Hello and welcome to the Lobster Pot, also known as day 2 of the Product Earth Seminar Zone. There you go. It's a lot to say for a Monday afternoon. We're doing some of the seminars that people didn't get to do at the show because obviously day 2 was cancelled. And here we have Mr. Tom Maor from Eybna in Israel. Good to see you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well over here. How are you? Thank you for the opportunity.
No, most welcome. It's all good. Now, I know that you specialize in terpenes, so tell us a little bit about Eybna and what you do.
Yeah, so Eybna, we are basically the company founded in the end of 2014, so almost a decade. We started as R&D company, more of the research and the understanding about the group of compounds that called terpenes. Everyone research and had the knowledge about THC, CBD, and other cannabinoids. The company with the lead of the founder and the CEO, Nadav, took the direction of learning and deep research around the terpenes. Terpenes, in the end of the day, they are aromatic compounds that you can find that in all different natural ingredients, from lavender, from mango, from orange. And in cannabis, you have cannabis is the number one nature, let's say, the nature source with the largest number of terpenes.
Right.
So it's a pretty complex, let's say, flower and with a lot of benefit. So yeah, the company started more on the R&D in the end of 2015. We start to produce and start our business. We fulfill and supply our ingredient, basically Eybna terpenes formulation. We started in the US market back then in 2015, 2016. Expand the business since then until now, until today. I can say that we have more than around 200 to 300 different clients worldwide.
Wow.
When I say worldwide, that's the meaning. Like we have clients from Japan, Australia, New Zealand, US, Canada, and also Europe. Yeah, so that's about Eybna. I think Eybna move very fast to what is going on in the market. Yeah, we are still our goal is to produce and supply high quality terpene formulation that in the end of the day, I think that each producer or each THC, CBD or medical cannabis companies, they are looking for the high quality ingredient that are not only those different cannabinoids, but also about to create the right terpene profile.
Excellent. And that's the nature of the seminar. So we're going to be talking about using terpenes for wellness.
Exactly. So if we are jumping into the wellness, I think that terpenes, we have done a lot of different research in the company since 2020, since 2020, when everyone got to our lives to get to know the new disease that called COVID. So one of our research and with the goal and the idea of Nadav, the CEO, basically is to understand how does the terpenes can affect the symptom of different disease. In that case, was COVID. The company successful had a preclinical trial on human cells that basically we found out that terpenes by themselves impact on the human cells. We compare it to a dexamethasone. Terpene is the terpene formulation, and the most important, and I think that's what everyone needs to know, that the combination of the terpenes on specific terpenes with different cannabinoids, for example CBD or THC, they're creating a much better effect. So that's, I think, one of the things that everyone need to take from this session, from my short session, that it's not only about the different ratio of the cannabinoids, it's also the mix of the right terpenes formulation. You can find, I think, most of the most of the markets are known. They are being familiar with the main terpenes, like the most famous one, like beta-carotene, myrcene, limonen, linolol. But there is more. Okay, and I believe that when you are getting into the right angle of that to understand how does a group of compounds can create the impact, that then in that situation you are basically create the full solution, and you can look at the picture in the full picture of that in the right angle. Also, one that's I think in that moment in 2020, the company took a different angle to the approach of the terpenes. We understand that they are not only compounds of smell and taste; they are also functional compounds.
Yes.
I would like to share a short presentation, quick one. 1 second. So basically, what we found out, like, sorry, so it doesn't let me, but I will like to basically to touch on that. That what we found, the terpenes are being able, and they have the capability of connect to different receptors in the human body. As everyone know, different receptors that we have are being active by caffeine, by nicotine, by alcohol, some of them by psilocybin that everyone are getting to know in our industry. And what we found out, and with the deep research that we have done with a different way, mainly with the AI technology, that we understand that different receptor can connect to in a specific angle, in a specific path with a specific receptor to basically to activate that or unactivate the specific receptor. So we found out that with the database that we have, and also I think there is the database that you can find online, and the database that most of the research they are more focusing on THC and CBD or other cannabinoid. Now you can see more and more information, more research about different terpenes. What we have found that basically those terpenes, those compounds can activate the GABA system, the serotonin system, and also the cannabinoid system. And by that, you can also understand that terpenes can be implemented and can be in creating a much better solution for different consumer for different reason. They're using that.
And what kind of reason? I mean, again, it sounds like it's the sort of thing that could be highly specific in terms of what it's targeting and things like that to create different formulations. Is that kind of what we're talking about, having very distinct individual kind of healthcare options or wellness options?
Exactly. And I think that in the end of the day, you don't have a lot of different effect. Okay, you have what people now they're using all the time want to use the medical cannabis market, because people they are consuming their medicine, they're using that for few purpose. One is for pain, anxiety you have, for focus. What we found that like we cannot say that is can target different like more than 50 different effects, because you don't have.
Yeah.
So terpene can help with pain relief. And I want to be very careful what I'm sharing right now, but because we don't have any clinical trial, but definitely we can see the benefit of that. They have a benefit for help for better sleep, for pain relief, for focus, energy. Yeah.
That's very cool. That's it. But then that's kind of in terms of the sort of range of products, or because again, I think most people think of terpenes as the scent, the smell. They don't think of it as having kind of actual wellness benefits. But it certainly sounds like there's a whole wealth of things that you can use terpenes for in that regard.
Yeah, and you already, I think you can already see it like on different markets that are less related to the cannabis. What we are doing, there is more and more demand from the beverage industry for non-alcoholic beverages, from the tobacco industry. They're trying to, the number of the smoker of the new generation is decrease, and the alcohol consuming is also decreased. And one of the projects that we have done is also implementing the terpene formulation as a functional ingredient to create a much better, like to mimic an alcohol effect.
Mm.
Because in the end of the day, the terpenes are natural ingredients, so your body know how to adjust that, and they are not as alcohol or smoke. So the body is react in a positive way for the consumption of terpenes. Look, also you have the guidelines how to use terpenes. Terpene by himself is a concentrate. If
Mhm.
you want to drink a concentrate terpene, Dave, I'm gonna call ambulance to
Yeah.
take care of it. Now, terpene are very, it's ingredient that are very sensitive. As a concentrate, and in the end of the day, if you think about it, in a vape or in a tincture, in a tincture you use between 1 to 3%, and in a vape we recommend to use between 3 to 10. So it's very important to take in consideration the safety of that.
Mhm. For sure. For sure. And in terms of, I guess, the way in which you see the sort of potential uses for terpenes, almost internationally. You said you've got clients all over the world. Are they typically using it for similar things for beverages and for, like you're saying, around vapes, or are they looking at kind of new form factors as well, or is there a kind of growing innovation in terms of how terpenes are being used?
I joined the company in 2020, and since then, what we see in the market that is all about the trend that is happening in a specific market. For example, in the US market, you can see now that that the local brand they want to bring something that is different.
Yes.
This competitive doesn't have it. So I think that it was start in 2021, 2022, the trend of more of a sweet flavor or more of a sweet formulation,
Yep.
less related for the terpene, like a strain specific.
Mhm.
In more of the medical side, you can see there is more request of strain specific, from the reason that they want to make it as compared to when you buy a flower, when you buy a vape, it's need
Mhm.
to be similar terpene profile. So
Mhm.
it's more to mimic the cannabis, the terpene profile of the each strain.
Mhm.
And if we speak on more on the international level, I think that a lot of the different market are mainly are impact and looking into the US market, the US trend. And they are all the time looking for what is going on in the US. Bring me the California, bring me what is the most hype now in the US. But one of the, like, I would take for example Asia Pacific. You can see in Thailand was the hype around the cannabis.
Mhm.
Was and I think until now it's not so clear how does the structure.
Mhm.
But also there are a lot of requests that are following the US market, and I think that the US market is the one that leading in the internet on the international level.
Mhm.
But that's where I'm more speaking about the recreational side.
Yeah.
From the medical one. The medical, there is other requests, and also you can see that wellness. Wellness, I think, is one of the sector that is growing around us. People are now looking for more natural solution. Interpret can
Taking more
be
charge of their own healthcare as well. They're being more mindful about how they approach things, and they're not looking for, the things that are just, they've relied on in the past.
yeah, exactly. They're looking for it, and I think that starts since the COVID.
Yeah.
I believe that people are looking now. They are considering what they are consuming. and they're looking what they're consuming, and they're also looking for new solution. And
Okay.
on that's and in that request, I think the terpenes are getting into the picture, because
Mhm.
then when you have the right terpenes formulation with the right ratio, and you know which terpene will do what, which receptor has been able to active, what kind of effect you can create from your product, which
Mhm.
terpene formulation you can use for night or day. Because in the end of the day, it's the level also of the percentage of the concentrate of the CBD, and the terpenes. This ingredient is allowed you to create something different from other.
Mhm.
Okay, I think in product art you saw. The end of the day, you have a lot of different brands. Everyone have their own unique signature behind the brand, and also their high quality standard that they want to keep their brand. But most of them that are not using any like a special way to differentiate their brand, it's gonna be the same.
Mhm. That's right. And yeah, like you say, we need more product forms. I think not just in the medical market or recreational market, but in the medical market too. And I think as people start to see, or there's more kind of clinical trials around, the use of terpenes and use of different cannabinoids and the application of them, it's only going to, we can look more than just the anecdotal evidence and start to see actually this is how this works. And I think, do you feel like there's still a knowledge gap between kind of consumers and terpenes, and how are you kind of bridging that as well?
Yeah, and I think it's in a process of learning. It's a
Hmm.
curve of learning, and more company are looking to invest on that,
Hmm.
because they need to, like, the medical cannabis. I think only not only in the UK, international level, it's still it's still is a market that need to learn and need to
Hmm.
add more option, because 65 years old that have pain she suffer from pain, and she never smoked in the past, or she never, it's for her. You need to find the right solution that she will be able
Mm.
not to have pain during the day.
Do you feel like there's still a stigma attached to things like terpenes when people understand it, or do people that you speak to? I mean, obviously, outside of like your customers, but I work in terpenes. What are terpenes? Well, it's to do with cannabis. Oh, okay. Do you feel like there's still that stigma attached to it, even in a lot of the markets that you operate in?
I feel it when I visit my wife family.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that step by step, the company had the chance to take part of a few food and beverage expo.
Hmm.
So you see that those companies start to understand what is it. They
Hmm.
start to want to learn also more about it.
Right.
Cannabis, it's not a dirty word anymore. So, people asking, okay, terpene cannabis, what is it? They want to learn more. And I think that you can already see it more on like in places like, for example, when I visit in Thailand,
Hmm.
I think it's the biggest food and beverage expo over there, and say cannabis, you're not shame on that. And to speak about terpenes, people are looking. In the end of the day, terpenes, they are compounds that in charge of smell and flavor.
Hmm.
What are we using in different beverages? What does different your beverage that you drink? They put flavor.
Hmm.
So what is the difference? The main difference is only the title of that, and the main that's the main difference of the client or the producer that see it. But the structure, the composition of the ingredient is different. Essential oils. I think that everyone are familiar with essential oils. And
Hmm.
essential oils, you have between 20 to 40% of essential oils, it's terpenes, and the rest is alcohol.
Okay.
So that's also another way of people that's starting to understand, because in the end of the day, everyone knows essential oils, lavender essential oils.
Hmm.
So It's contained terpenes, but in a very small ratio.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's just, yeah, educating again. It's like anything within cannabis, or there is still this very much this need to kind of explain what it is, and to sort of say, well, it's not just within this plant. It just happens to be, like you say, the strongest concentration of them within cannabis, but actually you find them in all kinds of different, plants, globally. So it's just that, another way of looking at, different form factors and finding new solutions moving forward, and not being afraid to kind of use them and sort of experiment, I suppose.
I think that to afraid from that is like you said, that you're afraid from orange,
Yeah,
or afraid from mango.
yeah.
We don't, as companies that leading the market, and and companies that want to impact the market, they need to take this responsibility and to educate.
Mm-hmm.
Not their client, not at the B2B level, on the B2C.
Yeah.
Once the education start from the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be like that, and everyone would like to, and everyone would like to learn more and to be open-minded about it. And yeah, and as you said, you gave a good example. People, like everyone on our daily base, everyone consuming terpene in a very in a very small level.
Mm-hmm.
It's around us. And here in the cannabis, or in what we are providing to the market, or what our medical patient are consuming, they need to know more. They need to consume it in the right way. And terpenes can benefit that behind and over the smell and the taste, also to create the functional.
Mm-hmm. Very cool, very cool. So no, that's really, really interesting stuff. Where can we find out more about what you guys are doing? What's the website address for Eybna?
Yeah, I will. The address, it's eybna.com.
Mm-hmm.
We, until the end of the month, we're gonna be in 2 beverage expo in Europe to introduce our solution, and also we're gonna be in the MJBs.
There you are.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The company have 3 offices. We have in the US, Israel, and in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So we are welcome everyone that want to make the impact.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to be a part of that. Also, feel free to contact me on a personal level. My email is tom@eybna.com.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have a lot of information that can be found on the website. Yeah.
Very cool. No, thank you very much. It's been very interesting. And yeah, thanks for coming on, and look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.